you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hearer of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Yes, we're going to continue our discussion here, Lord.
Yes.
You know, the perversion, and many people might feel, mother might feel insulted by the term perversion, but it fits, you know, it doesn't mean, yeah.
It is about the situation I just described to you. One goes from saying, from cursing the situation that the Lord put on him, that has been for who knows how many tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of years, about pluralistic marriage, because they're in the devil's society who says one man, one woman, knowing that's unnatural because you see all the lewdness going on in Washington, D.C. and in Las Vegas, all over the world, all over this country, and then gonna go and get in a situation that the Lord himself curses. Adultery. And allow her children that she's left to know about it, as though it's all right.
And the thing is,
that's perversion.
And the thing is,
she's not a victim.
No, not at all.
Like a lot of people, I guess the argument when people go forth, mother, you thought they'll go forth and they'll cry victim. I'm the victim. I'm the victim. It's a game. Now it's a political. It's a game.
You know that old finger thing, man, pointing at somebody else and forgetting about that one that's pointing at you.
Yeah.
You know?
And the whole thing is this here, you know, and let me just make this clear, because a lot of things been going on. This country is very, very good at brainwashing you through the media.
Yes.
They're excellent at it. Now they over there with their cameras in the Middle East, and the women are rebelling, wanted to go to court. The men took the women to court saying that they had to have sex or they would be allowed to do certain things to them. The women was out there protesting. They want to take off their scarves. They want to have the American Idol down there. All this nonsense. I call it nonsense because these people done got a peek of the devil
in their
backyard, and they like it.
Okay.
People always inclined to evil.
Right.
They look over here and they think that all this stuff here is beautiful. Going against what I used to sit down.
So-called freedom.
Right. Going against what I used to sit down.
Yeah.
The Bible is a collection of stories written by people that wasn't even enlightened. People that never have reached the level of Jesus. You know, outside of John the Baptist, okay? A collective of stories. We could come up with a collective of stories.
Yes.
And maybe 10,000 years from now, maybe 500 years from now, people will say this is law. But would it be law? I'm talking about you and I.
Yeah.
Now, they go show you them biblical stories from way back when. And the men had more than one wife. We don't know why Allah does what it does. And we should not try to figure it out because Allah's beyond us figuring out. Allah's beyond us. See, because they call Allah, try to relate to Allah as man, they trying to deal with Allah having a man's mind.
Yes.
Now, for some odd reason, Allah caused it to be way more female children born than male. So you're trying to say the Lord is so cruel that it will cause all these females to be born and they should be without children and without a spouse.
And let's not spread that up to nature, because some people say, "Oh, the Lord didn't do that. That happened by nature."
Oh no,
the
baby
Lord
can't
is
nature. The Lord is
that's
nature.
the religion of the science world.
So let us go into that. So now we saying the Lord is cruel? No, the Lord does things for a reason. It's best to be in order with what it does.
Right.
So from the beginning of time, Adam just didn't have Eve. Adam and Eve was a community.
Right.
The children of Adam didn't come from one woman, Eve. That's why as time went on, prophets and other men had more than one woman.
Yeah.
And they lived as a big community, a family, because they didn't have houses made out of stones and bricks and land that separated them.
Right.
They all lived together. Even African tribes all lived together. This was the one tribe here, another tribe here.
Right.
Everybody lived together as one family. Allah says there's only one community under it. Man came about and separated things for its benefit. How can we in this country look down on the Muslims or anybody else that practice pluralistic marriage the way that Allah sent it down? How can we look at that as evil when you can have people in this country, a man not acknowledging his children, letting his children be raised fatherless, not having been at that basketball game because he can't afford for his wife and other children to find out that this is his son? You got women that even when they marry a man and the man has a child, I know for a fact, they tell their husband, well, you ain't going to see him no more. You married to me and you got a child here.
Yeah.
What kind of sick world? Did we want to know what's wrong with the people in this country? Well, that's one of the things. We have allowed the devil to rule. We ignore our children because society tell us they bastards.
Yeah.
They are bastard children because you wasn't married to their mother. How can we allow a society to label our children as bastard kids? I don't care if you was married to the mother or not.
And the piece of paper that comes in civil law, the legal situation, that's way beneath the Lord L. What the laws that matter is the laws of L.
Right.
Huh? And you gonna take a piece of paper. See, the Lord said, don't set up a deity equal to me, to itself. And we go about as human beings doing this all the time. Who gonna reconcile that?
Right. And
You know?
we already start the children off
Yes, when that was it.
with all
children,
the insecurities that they have. Then we sit back and want to complain later. Now, a father go claim his son or daughter if they make it great.
Yeah, yeah.
But what about when that child needs you the most? You have allowed a society, and they only really dictate this and enforce this in our communities. You ignore your children, then you expect them to be more than what you are. They grow up and ignore their children.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So we put a law's worry beside. We say, oh, that was for back then. Another thing,
Okay.
this country's so evil, trying to get the sisters to uncover. But the women in this country cover every day.
Yeah.
They color their hair, so they covering it, ain't they?
They cover their face with makeup.
They cover their face with makeup.
Lips.
They cover their lips.
eyes,
eyes.
everything.
They always covered it.
covering.
Oh, they don't cover the part that they should cover. They breasts and everything, you know, those parts.
Yeah, they trying to
but they all made the hell up. You got to say, will the real you stand up?
And that's a
But
cover.
then they'll come to you as a cover.
It's not who they actually are. So,
Covered in the way
It's a
that
cover.
right.
It's a cover. Anything you paint over you is a covering.
You covering it up.
Yeah.
Whether you use lamb's wool
Foundation.
or chemical liquid, it's still a cover.
But then they'll come to a sister like me and say, I know you hot. Well, hell, you ain't hot from baking in that makeup. You ain't hot from having
The
all
sun
that crap
hitting you
in your
directly.
head.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You know, understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
But they
yes.
led by the devil.
Let me just say this here. In regards to reconciliation, the first thing you have to do is stop being selfish. You cannot reconcile your loss or your wrongdoings by being selfish. Now, I'll give you an example. One of my beloved brothers, biological brothers, came to me when I was 40 years old. And he said to me that he wanted to become my friend. He's 5 years older than me. What I remember most about him in my life is loving him and worshiping him at one particular time in my youth and getting beat by him and left in the streets by him in fear for, as a child, and threatened by him to not tell my parents the various things he was doing to me. And I grew up with an impression. And I remember once I went to him because some guys 3-4 years older than me, a year or two younger than him, was beating on me. And he told me don't ever come to him for help. I had to defend myself. And I said, well, they're old as you. He said, they're younger than me. But I said, they're older than me. You see? So it was that and a number of other situations that really put a psychological impression that was hurtful to me, damaging to me. He come to me when I'm 40 and says he want to be my friend. So I looked at him and I said, okay, reconciliation. I can't turn him away until he said, because I don't want what happened to me when our oldest brother died to happen to me when you die. And I said, who in the hell told you I was going to die before you? Complete selfishness throughout his entire life. I could not reconcile with him. Nothing. I could not put the bridge back together. And I just simply told him, look, you come when it's too late. I got grandchildren, man. When I needed you, you cursed me. When I begged for you, you beat me. When I cried for you, you abandoned me and acted as though I wasn't your brother. And now you come some 30 years later asking me to be your friend so you won't be hurt.
Yeah.
That's the way of this world, man. That's the way of this world. And I never explained to him why I took the action that I took, and I hope and pray that he's watching this show now so that he may understand through his selfishness, that's one of the reasons nothing was ever reconciled for him. He has so many loose branches out there, loose ends out there to tie up, not just with me, but with many others of his blood. You understand?
Yes.
That's the way it is in this society.
Mm-hmm.
Our society itself, our nation itself, need to reconcile with the world. Mm-hmm. But they're not going to do it.
The sin of selfishness, that's just the inability, just the unwillingness to feel even for the world, for nature, for anything, what you expect to get feelings for yourself, what you expect of yourself. The same, I'm the brother,
It goes in so many avenues and it's so deep.
Yeah, and it's so subtle. It happens so fast. Yeah. It's so common. It's so much a part of a people's makeup that they don't even recognize it.
People don't even recognize
it. Do it, boom, just like that. Mm. If you don't reconcile, bring reconciliation to your Lord, for your own self, for this benefit of you to be brought back into a righteousness with your soul, then you're never going to get away from it. You're never going to get away from the selfishness. You're never going to get away from the harm you do to yourself. You're going to pass on from this life and be judged astray for that, for not turning back to the source of your origination in this life. And it is of the unseen. It is of mysticism. It is of that which many lost and astray Muslims be talking about. There's no room in Islam for mysticism because they don't understand what the supreme mystery of life is all about. They don't understand that the supreme mystery is Allah. The root of mysticism.
We talk about in opening the show the path of the way and how not reconciling past properly.
This is the path of the way what
Yeah,
I'm referring to.
yeah.
You understand? See, people come up with all these different paths of the ways, these different ideologies, these different schools of thought, this mixed bowl of soup, so to speak, of religion, all the denominations and all the factions and what have you. And then they say that they all believe in the same thing.
Lies,
Woo!
lies.
I was looking at, I think it's the tragedy of Saint Anna or something like that
Oh,
there.
you watched it? I
Yeah.
didn't watch it. Okay.
And in one part, in all these nations that was at war, they all was praying at the same time, supposedly to the same God, for the same thing. Yet they was all going to war to kill one another.
For material possession, whether it's land or
For the world.
wealth. Yeah.
For the world.
Yeah.
It wasn't for it.
For selfish acts. for
You know?
for the self.
So in order to, to come into reconciliation, you have to reconcile with the Lord itself. You have to come into the sacred knowledge, and the knowledge is a sacred experience, through spirituality, through mysticism, through the heart, the blood of the chosen way. The religion, which men have called Islam and the path of the way and different other things that they've referred to it as, which we have been given the name universal religion of truth, actually of the truth, the chosen universal religion of the truth, And I mean, it's only one way. And, I've been commissioned by the Lord Most High to deliver its message. And that's my duty, to deliver the message. So many people get the wrong impression that they think I'm trying to be a leader. I'm not trying to be a leader. I am a leader. The Lord made me a leader. I'm the first with the new word. I'm the first with the new covenant. I'm the first with the new name. You understand? I'm the first in line of this day under the Lord Most High. So I am in the lead. I'm not trying to be a leader. I can't help but be a leader. You see, but I'm not trying to control. And when they say he's trying to be a leader, they thinking he's trying to control. I'm not trying to control. I must deliver the message. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Not trying to control, and you knowing what the true controller is, and having given that message to the people as to who is the true controller, that it's the Supreme Lord.
The whole thing is that they refuse to surrender.
They refuse to surrender. They refuse reconciliation.
And people refuse.
Or reconciliation.
And the most...
I was going to say, and they go by an illusion thinking that they have escaped, they got their own world, or in control themselves.
Because of their blindness, their ignorance. The Lord said, you seek to deceive the Lord and his messenger, but you are the believers, and you only deceive yourself. The whole world has been deceiving themselves to believe that they are good people. Look how many people in this world go to war against other nations, and people have no idea why the government want them to go to war against these people, yet they go for the flag. And they believe that they're doing an honorable thing, which they're being honored by their leaders and their parents or whomever, but the one that counts, is it honoring them? See, you can live for 1,000 years and go to hell. You can live for a day and go to paradise. But people believe in this society that if you live long, you was right. You was good. Huh? Lived a good life. He lived over 100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. No, he had more time to bring hell on the weight of his scale of evil in them 100+ years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So his reward is going to be heavy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, profound. True. Yes, sir.
Yes. I think the message that people should try to get from what we're saying is this here. In order to reconcile, you have to come into the awareness where you stand.
And what you need to reconcile
and
with.
what you need to reconcile with. You have to become true to yourself.
And yourself, your highest self, your true self is the Lord El.
Right. Because if you don't take that prescription, then what is it to reconcile?
Prescription is it's a
The
good
covenant
word.
of the Lord Most High.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the prescription. Everybody's sick and we need a prescription. And instead of going to the Lord, they run into the doctor, to the pharmacy. We sick as hell as human beings. And we need that prescription. And we don't want to take it.
No.
He said, just a little, just
little
let
more,
me stay intoxicated.
little more perversion,
just
a little more
while
poison,
longer.
a little longer.
Let me get
yeah.
into this evil just a little while longer. And people do some perverted things, man. Call themselves religious and otherwise, and they be doing some perverted things, man. I remember when I was in out there in the general working field, man, all the offers was given to me by women on my jobs, man. And they thought the brothers was making fun of me and the sisters was whispering, saying he must be gay. I had a woman home, wife. He must be gay. He ain't, no, just because I don't want to commit that act with you. I was telling my wife, I said, you know, people talk a lot of stuff about me. And she said, you know me too. I said, but if they had something on me in all these years, they will be talking, they will be bringing it. I said, I thank the Lord Most High for not allowing me to go to my job site and be such a damn fool and take the offers of these seductions from men and women who want me to go down on them in some kind of way, or want to go down on me in some kind of way, want to take me out of my element of trying to be right with the Lord El. I thank it for the long track record he gave me of saying no, no, no. My rewards have come from it blessing me to say no. I'm not afraid of you. I just have dignity and self-respect, honor for my Lord. I'm not afraid to say no. No. Think of me what you will. And my Lord has rewarded me with a true, beautiful person in my life that makes up for all the times that I could have been saying yes and putting that hell on me that I have to have on the scale of judgment for me. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Reading in the Quran, it's where the people will look at your aura, the aura of good, the good of the righteous, and they'll become envious of it. And in doing so, that's why they're trying to turn you against, trying to make you offers to turn you or any good that they think that they see in somebody away from that way, towards their way.
It's just the nature of the beast, man. If you are really good, then someone's coming to try to turn you away. If you're headed towards the good, then somebody's coming to try to turn you away. You understand? And when you fall for the seduction and it feels good to you, then you are a loser. You are a loser, and you will pay for it in one way or another. Maybe then, maybe later.
We get so perverted that they'll experience pain. Every animal experiences pain, but some people, they get used to pain. They like pain.
Yes, they absorb it, and
Painful memories, physical pain.
Part of the perversion, man.
And after
Part
all,
of the
it's
perversion.
not pain to them. It's pleasure.
It's pleasure. That's the perversion.
It's pleasure.
Let me sneak and do something evil with you. Oh, it feels so good. That's perversion. That's perversion. One of the things the Lord gave me that I love so much, I appreciate so much, is that I cannot consort with a woman without being in love with her. I thank it for that alarm system it gave me. Huh? I've had a lot of female friends in my life, but you don't hear about me having a lot of friends that I laid And they're not out there to come and say, he laid me, he laid me, he laid me.
Yeah.
I let the people think what they want. But most of my friends was being protected by me. I took them as sisters, not so much as lovers, as sisters. Because I had a heart being in that ghetto to protect the women, to protect the community. And I have that same thing going on in me now, and I have suffered for it. Because one thing about the perversion of man, they try to hurt the one that tries to help them. That's been a life lesson of mine. Allah wrote something and had something written in the Bible about the people that would cut me in this day and time. And then it explained to me, no, those are not the jinn. Those are the people in your community. They're the ones that's cutting you and stabbing you and beating you down. They're the only ones I've allowed to come close enough to do that to you. Said, but they will pay. That's in this community. All the suffering that I've had to suffer from my people, laying down to them as a prayer carpet to the Lord. And instead of them getting on me with righteousness, they've gotten on me with filth, ignorance, foolishness, hard-headedness. But I go forth because it's my duty to deliver the message. Yeah. You see?
Well, it sounds you described again the nature of the beast and that nature for not reconciling.
Yes.
Yes. Not the path of the way, which is the submission.
Yes.
The source of us all. You know, I'm reading that every time I'm reading in the Bible and in Quran, and trying to prepare for the show. Each time the path of the way or the right path was mentioned, it seems to always proceeds up with submission to your Lord. Obey your Lord, honor your Lord. That's it. That's
because see, if you reconcile with Allah, everything starts and ends with Allah.
Yes, Ahezaah.
Ahezaah. If you start with it, see, a lot of people try to do things themselves, but I bear witness that if you truly put it in Ahezaah's hand, everything else gonna fall into place. Everything.
Let me reiterate what she just said, and let me put it in another way for you. Just a slightly little deeper way. She said everything begins and ends with Allah. Actually, everything begins and ends with El, the. And one thing that the Lord El did with me when it brought me up into the universes and showed me as a youngster the many universes that people didn't know about, and gave me so many names, its names of lordship, the Holy Supreme Being, and then the names of so many prophets, and I was only 7 years old. It let me know that it is the first and the last and the overall, and in the end, it's going to remind you of all its names, all its prophets, all its words, its commandments. It's fair and just, and it's going to let you know where you've gone wrong and all that. So it all begins and ends with El.
El has no
and El and Ahezaah, Allah is inclusive in El. So people, you with your differences of religion, you're not going to escape this covenant. You're not going to escape the call of the covenant. You're not going to escape the call of reconciliation. You're not going to escape. I don't care what name you put out there and what religion you put out there. You're going to be judged in the same manner as those are the righteous and those are the most evil.
By the same one reality.
By the same one reality, or the real of the reality, because the real is greater than the reality.
Wow.
You know, so that's another story.
Lord, with that, we're gonna call out to our audience and let them know this has again been, and hope that our audience finds that this has been as eye-opening as it has been for me. We're going to sign off
Son.
until the next time. You can reach us at A.H.A.D Inc. for those who want to write in at P.O. Box 8795, Newark, New Jersey 07103, or at Third House at yahoo.com, our email. Lord Holy-Apostle Deen, Holy Queen Mother, may I use this peace and other blessings be within and about your presences. And to you,
I
the
just want to
audience.
thank you, brother, for
It's always an honor.
yeah,
It's
for
always
holding court.
it's
We
always
held
an honor.
court
It's
good
always an
today.
honor. It's always
You know,
an honor. Yeah.
and before we go, I want to say something real quick.
Yes.
We had a marriage in our community. Young folks got married.
Yeah.
May I ease his peace and
May I
blessings
ease
be
his
with
peace
them
and
about
other
the
blessings
present
be with them
sister
about your
and brother
presence. Yes.
Abdul Aziz. And,
Yes.
you know, I thank Allah for you strengthening our community. We got young folks doing things right. I'm talking about young folks doing things right. So you brothers out there who want to say we are deluded and we're not right with Allah, we are right with Allah. And as time goes on, these babies that ain't born, they coming up and they getting married and they having strong families, community in the way of the righteous, gonna prove you wrong.
I don't know. Did we get our P.O. box? Did our P.O. box
Yes,
come
it
up earlier?
came up.
All right.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who